Welcome to episode 6 of the She Built This podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about setting and keeping your goals ahead of coming into the new year. You might be listening to this at another time, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter because I absolutely do not believe in the whole new year, new me thing. However, this is a pertinent time for people, and I wanted to give people something to hold on to, maybe to have a think about over the Christmas time. So, when it comes to setting goals, how I have approached it in the past is perhaps not recognizing the kind of person that I am. Now, my husband and I are quite different. So, my husband can set long term goals and doesn't need any feedback that it's working and just keeps going, doing the things, and just carries on regardless. He's almost unattached to the outcome of the goal because he's just doing the thing. And if anything has taught me, marrying him has taught me anything, it's actually this really, really insightful way of knowing your own mind and knowing what you need. Now, I have two pieces of advice, really, I guess, for you. Is first, understanding what you need. So I do actually need some evidence that my goal is coming towards me. And I do that through a couple of different things, and I'll go through that. And also, the type of goal that you have in mind, can it be broken down into chunks? Is there something that you can kind of achieve along the way? And also knowing that you do need to fall in love with the process of achieving the goal. And you can do that again in lots of different ways. So let's break that down. So how I now set goals, I guess, is that I've actually had some really lovely coaching from my friend around this, and I had no idea how powerful it was. But your subconscious mind is an incredibly underutilized tool when it comes to goal setting, because what you can do is you can essentially set it going. And if you're really, really precise about it, and it can be the universe as well, if you're into that sort of thing, but if you just literally want to stay in the very, very absolute gold standard science, then your subconscious is constantly looking out for ways to achieve the things that you want. We have this area of the brain called the reticular activating system. It is absolutely hardwired to bring you the things that it deems as important. It's the reason that if you buy a red car, everybody's got a red car. That's how it works, right? So your brain has gone, oh, red cars are important. I'm going to alert you to more red cars. So by being really precise with the goal that you're setting, even down to the date. So it might be, for example, I want to, I want to lift 50 kilos by the 5th of October, 2026. And then you almost have to just forget about it. And that's one goal. It might be, another goal might be, I want to have a completely different job by the 5th of October, 2026. So, cool. That's fine. So you set that really, really laser focus. There's work that you need to do behind that in terms of like, why do you want that? Why is it so important? Really, really attach a lot of meaning to it, but then almost forget about it. Then set to work on becoming the person who achieves that goal. And so almost forget about it and act on it at the same time, which I know duality is what I'm learning more and more about life, is that there is duality in every single thing. And if you can think about it a bit like you've got a butterfly in your hand, you want to hold the butterfly gently enough that it stays in your hand, not too tightly that you crush it, and not too loosely that it flies away. So by setting something very, very specific in mind and having it as a very, very specific date, then you plant the seed in the subconscious. So you're kind of holding that really, really gently. We're not gripping on tightly to it. Now, when you think about, okay, what's the next aligned step for that? And you literally want to just hold the butterfly. But if you open your hand and just go, oh, well, I've set it now, I can just forget about it. You can, and you need to take some aligned steps. So what I now do with my goals, for example, is that I will have a goal that I put out that is probably big and a bit scary and like, okay, this is going to be a push and it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but I know it's really, really aligned to what I want. It's really, really important to me. I'm going to just move from a space of expecting that to happen, but also not expecting it to happen. So when we put our next aligned step in place, I bring this all back to goal setting at New Year in a second, but basically just plotting it out in terms of how I do it. So we want a goal. It probably needs to be a little bit scarier than you think it needs to be because it needs to be exciting. You need to set a very specific timeline around it and then almost forget about it. And then we come back to, okay, if this is the goal, what is the next step that you're going to take towards that goal? So if it was, I'm going to lift 50 kilos, deadlift 50 kilos by the 5th of October, 2026. Cool. So if you never step foot in a gym between now and October 2026, the likelihood of you doing that goal is not very big unless you are already pretty strong and you can do it. However, if your next aligned step is, I'm going to sign up to a gym and I'm going to get a personal trainer or I'm going to get a coach and learn how to do it, that's the next aligned step. And you could say, well, I can just do it on my own. You absolutely could do it on your own, but there may be some things that come in the way. And that's why I have so many people in my world is learning things. And essentially what they're buying is time, speeding up the process of them achieving the goal, because actually what you might find is you achieve the goal much earlier than you think you're going to as well. That's always a nice thing to have. But also to have this kind of process and to feel secure that you're doing the right things. Yeah. So then you want these progress goals. So for me, like my husband can just set the goal, ignore the goal, do the thing, and that's fine. He just kind of traipses along and does the things that are necessary to get the job done. Me, I like a little pat on the back every so often. My nervous system likes to know that it's heading in the direction of the goal that I've set myself. And so I need progress goals. So a progress goal, I think I've spoken on this before, but I'll just remind you. So we have outcome goals, which is I'm going to deadlift 50 kilos by October 2026. And then we have progress goals. And our progress goals are things like I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, every week. So those are our progress goals. And this essentially is how I help people to maintain and achieve pretty much all the goals that they set and then some, is because we fall in love with the progress goals. We set really, really achievable to start with. Like it's got to be almost like stupidly achievable to start with. Having said that, in the very, very start, people have a huge amount of enthusiasm, and so you can kind of go with it. As it starts to taper off, we need to measure that with either you've actually just fallen in love with the person you're becoming, which is always really beautiful to see, or that they just recognize that there's going to be a little bit of resistance and we need to set the bars maybe slightly lower, maybe say, okay, not 3 times, but we're going to say 2 times, or these sessions that you're going to turn up for are really straightforward. You're not even going to need to worry about, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to fit them in. Or perhaps they're done at home, not going to the gym. We make the frictionlessness of the progress really, really straightforward. And the same with nutrition, exactly the same. So you don't want it to be so hard that you fall out of love with the progress, because then the outcome becomes, you're not going to get it. So I guess my advice to you would be, when you're sitting at home and you're wanting to set something, you want to set a goal, make it really sexy and exciting and cool and have an attachment to the outcome of it. So deadlifting 50 kilos can be one, and it was a bit of a boring one, but it might be more like, I want to be so well and fit that I can go on holidays with my family and not care about what the itinerary has, because I know I'm going to be able to join in. I'm not going to worry that there's steps and I'm not going to be able to get up the steps. I'm not going to worry that there's going to be too much time standing, because actually I'm super strong on my legs. I'm not going to worry about all of the other things. So make the goal really live and deep and meaningful. And then from that space, set a time, look at where you're going to go on holiday, go, yeah, that is exactly where I want to go. Make it bright and vivid in your mind, and then let it go. Then go, cool, that's that set. I can now just get to work on becoming the person who is just that goal. And so then you're like, okay, what does that person do tomorrow? Do they get up later than normal? Don't manage to get to the gym? And have a day where everything sort of happens to them? Or do they go, no, cool, I know what needs to happen. This needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen in order for me to have a really great day. And that's the way you lead from. And that's my way of making sure that this happens. So any goal that I set for myself, I set it and make it super, super sexy. In fact, the goal that I've got right now is actually 5 years from now. It's a really long time away. And the idea of holding that is hard, but I've made it so vivid and I can see it so clearly that now all I need to do is do the next aligned step. I need to do the next thing that makes that thing become inevitable, because I have become the person who is doing that thing. So take your time, make it big, make it sexy, make it juicy, make it fun, make it feel like, yes, I definitely want that. Make the next aligned step so you follow your progress goals. Give yourself a reward for achieving the progress goals. So maybe it's, I don't know, getting your nails done, having a game of golf, getting out, set yourself a little treat that is, I am nailing this, buying some new clothes, whatever it is, so that you are celebrating your achievements. Because another way to ensure that this happens is to sit in gratitude. And when you think about gratitude comes from a place of already having it. You're grateful that you have it. And so when you hold gratitude, you're holding the energy of it's already happened. And I may have said this again before, but your brain has no clue whether it's imagined or real. Your imagination, it's the reason that when elite athletes are going towards, what I used to do for my powerlifting, I would imagine being under the squat. I feel how the bar feels on my back. I know I'm going to step my right foot back. I'm going to step my left foot back. I do a funny thing with my left foot. I sit in, I allow the weight, like literally everything. I feel it, I smell it, I taste it. It's real. And when you're that in it, then it's alive. And you come from that place of actually, you've imagined it so many times that actually then when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, cool, of course. This is what we were expecting. So your brain doesn't care about imagination or reality. It just knows that you have a thought. And so getting really wild on those thoughts and getting really, really deep, and then move from that space. Move from the space of the person who's grateful for what they have and for what is coming. Really be grateful, really lean into that gratitude. Imagine that it's already with you. Imagine that it's already done, and move from that space. I cannot wait to hear some of your goals, how you get on. If you use this method, please let me know. And if you're listening to this at Christmas, happy Christmas. If you're not, well, maybe you're listening to it on a beach. And enjoy. Have a fabulous day. Set big goals, make them sexy, set your next aligned step, and achieve the best life you possibly can.